Welcome back, folks. You have the Dow Industrials right now up 223. Nasdaq's up 76. S&Ps are up 24. We got a great guest for you today, folks. Scott Barnett. And I know everyone's heard of this restaurant chain. Scott is the founder and the former CEO of Bubba Gump Shrimp Company Restaurants. Bottom line is that he took a company, Rusty Pelican Restaurants, that was going south, got that going, turned around, brought Bubba Gump Shrimp right across the world. Scott Barnett, welcome to TFNN.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, the restaurant business itself, I mean, that's a tough business. How did you figure out to take the restaurant business and make it into the entertainment business also?
Well, I wish I could take credit for that, but the reality is that happened a long time before me. What happened was Paramount Pictures approached us with the idea of doing a restaurant around the movie Forrest Gump.
Okay.
We thought that was a great idea, and we went ahead and did our first one in Monterey, California, and it was very successful.
And, restaurants, if we go back the last 30 years, 30 years ago, people didn't go out to eat like they do now. What does it take to make a great restaurant?
The restaurant business isn't that complicated. I think people make it a little more complicated than they have to. It's really about hot food hot, cold food cold, service with a smile, in pleasant, clean surroundings that are interesting. And if you do those things consistently and you do them well, then you're going to have a successful restaurant. I think that the issue with the failure rate for restaurants these days is that many of them are undercapitalized and don't have the technical and operating skill necessary to make it successfully.
So you wrote this book, taking Gumption, taking Bubba Gump Shrimp from movie to restaurant, and inside of that book, what is the goal of the book?
Well, the goal of the book is to tell a story about an entrepreneurial activity that occurred in a period of time when I was trying to get a restaurant company back in shape and back onto an even keel.
Yes.
And we had to take some risks with it. We had to do some things that were a little unconventional, but in the end we were successful, and we had a lot of help with a great team of people who were very dedicated.
Now I see inside basically some of the PR. Talk to me about the private equity firms, the venture capital groups, the good, the bad, and the ugly of dealing with them.
Well, that's just it. There's the good, there's the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
Some private equity firms are very strong, very good, have a high degree of integrity, and they're pretty straight ahead about how they do business. Others are a lot tougher, and you've got to really be on your toes when you're negotiating with them. So it's really, it's like any business, really. The private equity world is no different than the plumbing world or the restaurant world. There's good ones, there's bad ones, and there's some in between. I guess,
so reading through the lines there, specifically the bad ones, are you saying that when you're dealing with the bad one, they'd be trying to take more equity, trying to take the company? Specifically, what would a bad one entail?
Well, I think it really comes down to, like everything else, valuation. What's the how does a private equity firm value a company, and how do you value it? And in the end, at the end of the day, can you get together on that price, or are you far apart? When I say good, bad, and the ugly, there's nobody out there who, I never encountered any dishonest private equity firms or slippery in the sense of their criminal activity or anything like that. It was really more a matter of, is it a win-win or is it a win-lose?
Sure, I got it. Okay. Now, what do you see out there? I know in fact, they just brought you in being the CEO of Ruby's Diner now, right?
Yeah, actually, that was an interim CEO thing I was in for a 4-month assignment, which I just finished doing.
Okay.
And that was really sort of a turnaround thing, and it's done, and I've moved on to some other consulting jobs right now.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So when we look at the restaurant business going forward, where do you think we're going to be, 2, 3, 4 years from now?
I really think, and I kind of tend to really feel strongly about this, that it's going to be mass or class. I think what you've got is some restaurants that are in what are called fast casual, which is kind of a mixture of casual and fast food. And then you have some very upper end, upscale restaurants, sort of like Del Frisco's or Ruth's Chris or that Ocean Air, that type of thing. And who's getting squeezed and who's really in trouble are the people who are in between, what we used to know as casual dining, where people would go on an everyday basis, be it the Fridays or the Bennigans or the Cheddars of the world. It's all a part of that group. And they're the ones who are really encountering tough times because costs are going up and their pricing power is going nowhere. They don't have the power to price up, and the consumer is not, their disposable income isn't rising as fast, and so as a result, they're getting squeezed.
Yeah, you know what's interesting, Scott, is that I'm from Boston, but I've been living in the Tampa-St. Pete area for 14 years, and this is a real hotbed to start new chains, do you know what I mean, because of the Sullivans and Outback and all of this. And it's interesting, Fridays just lost the new concession at the airport. And it was like, and I could see why. Do you know what I'm saying? But just as you said, in Lama, a French restaurant got it. That's really good. But that's intriguing, man, because that's a big loss for Fridays, for sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a franchise more than almost assuredly. And in the airport world today, airports are trying to do more and more local-oriented shops and stores and restaurants, and less the chain operations. And so the chains are getting squeezed out of the airports.
So let's picture this. We have all these folks listening, right? And there's going to be plenty of young men and women and older men and women that want to get into the restaurant business. What's the best advice you can give them?
Oh, a few things. First of all, like I said earlier, it's hot food hot, cold food cold, service with a smile, and so on. I think the other thing to remember is that don't go into it undercapitalized. Make sure you have enough money to get through those first 6 months to a year where it's pretty lean.
Yes.
And second, don't forget that this is about creating an experience that is memorable for people. And if you pick the right location and you do the things that I've just described, and you know how to put food in front of people in a friendly, efficient manner, you'll probably be successful.
Nice. Listen, folks, the website is gumptionbook.com. You can go over to gumptionbook.com. You can go right to Amazon. Check it out. Gumption, taking Bubba Gump from movie to restaurant. Listen, we really appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to having you again, Scott.
Thanks. Anytime. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Have a great one. Have a safe one. The restaurant business right now, folks, is just amazing that it's got so big, and I suspect it's going to just continue getting bigger. What was intriguing inside that interview just now, no doubt, is that it's the middle that's getting squeezed. There's no two ways about it. The high end, the bill per turnover is pretty incredible. There's no two ways about that. And we'll see how the fresh food versus the Chipotles of the world make out. When you take a look at McDonald's, bottom line, McDonald's is trading out at 98. We'll see whether they save themselves. I mean, bottom line, this is the same level that it was at in March of 2013. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We'll be coming right back. Dow Industrial's up 217. Nasdaq's up 74. S&Ps are up 24. We're going to be right back.